What up, Jittery? What up? What up, Dolly? How you doing today? What up, Fred Plays? What happens if I will turn evil? I don't know. Ugh. How well the block words been going? Fine. They have been going fine. The worst part about doing these one comic like drawings is, for one, the camera doesn't like to cooperate. Two, it's kind of awkward to draw these like from this far away. For the most part, yeah. Have the unalive work? I don't think he's blocked KYS, because I've had a few of those still pop up. Time Toy Box, what up? How you doing? It's blocked how? I don't know, man. Sometimes they get through. Anyway, I'm trying to make sure the camera is stable. Oh, the camera's on. Yeah, DSP. Oh, the camera's on. Bro was caught masturbating on camera. DSP. That was crazy. How are you gonna like if you're gonna do that? If you're gonna do the deed, why do it where you work? Is my question. These ones just make it to where my palms don't sweat on the paper, but for gaming, I have different gloves entirely. I just have them so that way I don't sweat on the controller and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, if you don't like it, why not just scroll? Just simple as that. Finally found your live. I always miss them. Well, last time you tuned into my live, you said it was boring. Nice, your drawing looks great. Yeah. If people hate, just stop the live. Why should I stop the live? Why don't they just scroll? I love the loser text on her shirt. Yep. Oh my god. So I went after streaming yesterday. I went to the store with my granny, and we saw a shirt that literally said "Go back to picking cotton," and I was like, "Bro, who is gonna wear that?" It was crazy. You are so cool. Thanks. But yeah, it was like that was a really crazy shirt, man. Who would wear that? I was shocked, man. I was like thoroughly shocked. Man, so much hair. Where's all this hair coming from? Are you going to draw yourself one day? The boy in my PFP? Yeah, that's supposed to be me. Maybe I'll draw myself again. I draw myself a lot, actually. One time when I was on vacation in Illinois, I was in the store finding some clothes. My brother saw a mask that said "Kiss Me." That's crazy. I like Zoe's loser shirt. It's a small detail, but it's super cool. Yeah. So today we are drawing Zoe and her boyfriend. Let's fill out this first part. I can never put two N's next to each other without drawing M. Can never spell. This is what I get for being an illiterate. Who the hell just said Zoey Mama? I'm trying to read all the comments real quick. Zoe's the kind of person that pisses off her parents for funsies, as she would put it. Yeah, I meant to put two N's there, but you know, every time I go to put two N's, I put an M. Wanna. The person out in the living room right now is watching AI stories. I can hear it. I just don't understand how you can find AI entertaining. I like your drawing. Thanks. Pretty much everyone in my family is an AI watcher, so I can relate. Yeah, that's just how this household goes. These are just OCs. Like, that's all she watches. She just watches AI content out there, and it's like, this is why I say everything you watch is shit. Just making sure I'm not smearing this over here. Let's make the little spirit over here. I subscribed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm not reading the chat as much. I'm trying to focus. So Malcolm is kind of in a weird spot because, okay, so how do you wait? Did Outer say his name? Yeah. So this is Zoey, and then we have Malcolm, her boyfriend. So Malcolm is a bit of an interesting case. Zoey was born a cat, but Malcolm's story starts in a tube. He is a clone. He's an imperfect clone of another villain in our show, in our Project Agony. And he's kind of a rat on the bad guys because he doesn't really agree with Eden. But he was like human at some point, at least a clone of a human. So eventually, he would kind of ditch Eden after ratting out a lot of their information. So they kind of wanted him dead. But eventually, this little squirrel spear here, there are these things called the beast spirits, and they're created by like a god or like a primordial being. And he created 10 of them. Each of them, whenever they cling to somebody, they claim them as like a champion and make them extremely strong and all that stuff. But they change them physically as well to fit whatever. And Malcolm encountered the squirrel specifically, and the squirrel was a girl. So she turned him, and he is kind of like our son of a bitch, man. This is why I hate this pencil. See, this one, the lead never broke. But this one's the only one with an eraser, and now is my only one with lead in it. But yeah, so he is kind of like a transgender character, kind of. Not fully, but kind of. I hope that explanation gives you an understanding. So Malcolm is actually pretty capable on his own due to having this beast spirit. But yeah, it did technically make him into a transgender character. Still didn't stop him from being with Zoey, though. Her dad is scary. Yeah. So Zoe likes pissing off her scary dad. Basically, he's not okay. So here's the thing: her dad, Balder, he is goofy. He's a goofy father. That's the thing. He's really goofy. But to Malcolm, he's terrifying because Balder stands at like 8 feet tall, and Malcolm's like a little shorter than Zoe. Zoe is like kind of at that 6 foot mark, kind of in between her mom and dad's height. Oh, sounds like a dog shit in the house. Again. Man, the dogs have been bad lately. My dog Sally has been really, really ballsy with just taking a shit in the house instead of going outside. When she's outside for sometimes up to 20 minutes at a time, and then she'll come right in and take a shit in the floor, and it's like, you little bastard. Sounds like she just got in trouble. Again. More people, more hate. Yep. Malcolm is a squirrel. He was a human, but the squirrel beast spirit did turn him into a squirrel, so he's like a one of a kind. The squirrel beast spirit is supposed to represent gluttony and or victory. Basically, the treats of the treats of winning a battle is what the squirrel represents. Each of the beast spirits represents something different of battle. Like there is the blood wolf beast spirit that represents carnage, the carnage of war. The lion is a representation of pure strength and might. This project's for a TV show, yes. My cat shit in my bed. That's crazy, dude. That's when I throw the cat out. Anywho, yeah, so Balder is just like a big goofy dad, but Malcolm is terrified of him. A lot of people are really terrified of him because like dude is mad powerful and is really, really tall. And he's pretty bulky, so it's like, bruh, I don't want to piss him off. But Zoe doesn't really care. That's most likely because she's just too high to care. Uh-oh, sounds like my grandma found another pile of shit. What have these dogs been doing? We might be getting rid of these dogs. They've been being bad. Really, really bad for no reason. It's been getting bad. Have you guys ever just had an animal that you own just be a brat on purpose? God damn it! Stop breaking! I don't want to yell, but I'm kind of getting frustrated at the fact that this thing keeps breaking under, like, no pressure. I know your pain. Zoey is closer to the camera, considering if you look at her arm right here, she is reaching and holding her phone out to take a picture. Yeah, that's what they're doing, is they're posing for a picture. For anyone wondering what they're doing exactly in this panel. Also, for any of you that have been on the channel for a while, some of you know that there was a mouse in my house at some point. We have another one. Seems that it being very cold outside has dragged in a few rodents. Only one so far that we know of. Because it's missing an eye. But it's going to be a... We're probably going to catch that little bastard pretty soon. I imagine. We got the last one really fast. But... I heard talk of it earlier. And then there's a little squirrel spirit. Yeah, don't tell your age, by the way. Does your pencil break a lot? Yes, it does. Are they both squirrels? No, she's a cat. Zoe's a cat. And Malcolm's a squirrel. All of the AI stories I hear going on out there are all the exact same story, by the way. They've all literally had the exact same plot line. My family's cheating me out of money, so I eventually took my own stand and didn't pay them any more money. My family's cheating me out of money. Like, how many times you gotta watch the exact same fucking thing? That's my question. Why do people think every woman drawing should be skinny, like a Barbie doll? I don't know. Because people aren't used to things being absurd, I guess. I hear somebody raging at a game. All I heard was, motherfucker! That's all I heard. I'm assuming somebody just died in a game at a late level or something like that. I got the Final Fantasy VI music stuck in my head right now. Almost done. Malcolm's got he's brown in color, by the way. He's like a nice brown in color. And he wears black and yellow stuff. As yellow is his favorite color. Is Malcolm... Kind of, yeah. I've explained it already. W added for being a mod, yep. I live in Germany. That's crazy. So there's Malcolm done. And then we'll put his name over here. Malcolm. Now for Zoey. Oh no, see, that's what I was scared of. It's smearing. I was scared that it would smear, and it smeared anyway. Damn it. Loser. She has a few other shirts that say other things. This one just says loser. Love her art style, by the way. Yeah, this took a few years to get. You can ask Outer, somebody who's been writing this project with me. This art style took a while to get. For any of you wondering, by the way, Malcolm is not a pothead. In fact, he doesn't even like the smell of smoke. But him and Zoey are dating. So clearly her smoking habit doesn't get in the way of that. He does try to get off it, though, a lot. Almost done. I think now she's watching a 50s movies out there. At least that's not AI. God, can you imagine what it would be like if back in the day we had movies made out of AI? That would be scary what it would be today. BJ, you're a fucking loser. Go find something to do. Or JB. I see. We're almost done with Zoey. I love your art. Thanks. And there we go. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. And here we have... And it broke again. Man! Don't tell me I ran out of lead just now. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I have lead still. I need to get some new mechanical pencils. And there's Zoey. I like your style, thanks. Holy writing, bro? Yeah, I'm not the greatest writer, dude. Yeah, I'm not the greatest writer, dude. So fucking what? Here at the mall with my boyfriend. There we go. All done. I like the faces. That fucking scared me. That TV is so fucking loud, dude. That just made me jump in my seat. It is my style on the bottom. I don't even want to ask what Shade Man is. Your style has gotten so much better. Hello there, fellow citizen. Hello. Such breasts do not exist. Yeah, you know, this is also called a drawing in a fictional world. God damn, dude. It's also called a fictional world. They don't have to exist. That's the craziest thing I've heard. I kind of like the characters. That is the crazy. Such breasts do not exist. You know, cat girls and these beast spirits and a squirrel guy don't exist either. But oh shit. I mean, oh shit. The fact that their chests are really big, that can't exist. I love that. That is the funniest shit I've read all day. That's a guy. Yeah, this right here is a guy. Malcolm is a guy. Story. Which one is the Malcolm? Zoey. Take a gander at which one you think is the guy. Actually, believe it or not, these are surprisingly natural because of this thing. So this thing is a squirrel beast spirit. It attached to him, changed his body, and now he's got these things. But basically, yeah, you could say they're implants. Technically, he didn't have them beforehand. It wasn't until this thing decided to pick him as its host did he get these. The stream is blurring randomly. Whenever I stick my hand in frame, it'll blur. See? My hand will be the focus of the thing, so everything else will blur. Loki loved the drawings. Yeah. And he likes them. At first, he was kind of on edge with them because it was like, dude, he just wasn't used to it. Eventually, he got used to it though. More or less, the reason why he doesn't really care is because there's another character called Achilles who's like a really big dickhead. Nobody likes Achilles, and Achilles mistaken Malcolm for a girl and hits on him until he realizes Malcolm's a boy, and then everyone makes fun of Achilles for it. Trust me, if you see Achilles, he is a good guy, but he's just... God, you'll hate him. He's such an asshole. What does he look like? Achilles? I have not really drawn Achilles yet. I want him to look like he is somebody you do not want to get into a fight with. Achilles is like a serious warrior. You know, is Zoe seen? What? What does seen mean? $19. How old is the man drawing stuff? 19. And I've been drawing this kind of shit since I was 4, fucking doofus. $19, yep. Sense is like emo, but not at all. Okay, she's not really emo. Got a new idea for a character, but I'll tell you after stream. Sure, we have a lot to talk about after stream, Outer. This is peak right here. Thanks. Why are people saying it's cringe? Because if people see something they don't like, does Zoe dye her hair? Actually, believe it or not, Zoe does not dye her hair, but she has 2 other natural hair colors that kind of like go into each other. Blue and then purple. They're supposed to match her parents' hair color. Can I make fan art or Zoe? Go ahead. People when an adult draws adult things. Yeah, I know, dude. It's just like people just wah, wah, wah. Okay. I don't even have a basement. This house does not have a basement. Actually, she doesn't really at all suffer back pain, and his spine is basically reinforced. Is Malcolm trans? Kind of. I like your art, thanks. We drew Zoey before, but then the stream crashed. Here, I'll get that other Zoey drawing real quick. God damn, this book is heavy. Okay. Hold on. Maybe I'll draw more of Malcolm if people like him enough. This one I'm nervous about smearing because it's got a lot of stuff on it. Anyway, here is Zoey, like the full image of Zoey. Is Malcolm a boy or a girl? He is a boy. Malcolm is a boy. How is the book heavy? This is Zoey. You have any characters that go by they, them? Not real. I mean, yeah, we have characters that go by they, them, but that's honestly because that they don't exactly have a gender. Is Malcolm is kind of okay. So like I said, he's kind of. He is a clone of somebody. He is like an actual clone of somebody, but he was a boy like normally. But then this squirrel bee spirit, who is a female, clinged onto him, and it kind of made him more ladylike. But yeah, Bonnie and Jordan are technically they, thems, but they conform to a gender role. How are you? I'm doing fine, Ronnie. So, like I said, he was a boy. But then this little thing right here, you can see it. This little... Here, I'll even get it closer to the camera for you. This little thing right here on his shoulder, the squirrel bee spirit, who is a female, used him as a host. It then turned his body like this. Red and Balder. Yeah, they're the main characters. Balder's her father. Balder is her father. Maybe I'll draw Balder sometime. So a man with wooden features. Yeah, basically, if I have to sum it down, he's a busty boy. I've actually had these OCs for a bit of a while now. Zoey, I've had Zoey for a really long time, but she didn't actually always used to be a cat. That's because Margaret didn't always used to be a cat, but we changed Margaret to a cat. A lot of writing over the years has changed the characters a little bit. Interesting story, yep. Never give up. I always love that context when it's like an image of like a really buff like dude and then the next image is an orange cat. Never give up. Is Malcolm like peanut butter? The bunny OC? What? Who the fuck is peanut butter? Make an eldritch being, please. If I can ever figure that out, I will do it. If I can ever figure out how I want them to look, I will do an eldritch being. My phone is about to crash. I'll rejoin the live. Sure thing. If you don't like it, Daisy Flower, why not just leave? Why are you still here? I'm in a hospital? Oh, no. Have you ever made another cat OC except for Margaret? I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you figure it out. Oh, I know who we call him Cake is, yeah. I would say I used him as inspiration. I know who call him Cake is. I just didn't know the OC's name. You have any lesbian characters? Power and Kelly. So far, they're all that come to mind. But I know we have more. Someone's in the hall. I just said, oh no, what happened? How did you get in there? Fuck you mean I don't care? I have 6 days to live? Don't be fucking with me on that. You're fine. I have to amputate my leg? That's crazy. I woke up in the middle of the night. That sucks. Are they cats? Zoe is a cat, Malcolm is a squirrel. We have a couple lizard men, yeah?